This episode of the Smart Dumb Podcast has been brought to you in part by Audacity Magazine. Audacity Magazine and Events has been amplifying young professionals and small businesses for the last 5 years. If that describes you, then I invite you to get an Audacity subscription, aka join the Audacity team. You can enjoy benefits that include 2 events a month, whether virtual or in person in Atlanta, bi-weekly power hours that serve as accountability as well as brainstorming sessions, entry into a WhatsApp group chat of fellow entrepreneurs, free shipping on merch, and a free entry into the fetch list, which, yes, is a nod to Mean Girls and no, not a reference that I personally understood. The fetch list is, however, a directory accessible by those who are tapped in with Audacity, which means it can help you find your next customer. Now, I think it's safe to say that 5 years of anything can never be sufficiently covered in one ad. So to learn more, visit audacitymagazine.org. And to inquire about advertising across their different platforms, email audacitymagazineonline@gmail.com. That's Audacity, MAG, online@gmail.com.
Ain't nothing worse than a smart dumb. Hey yo! Hey yo! Hey yo! Hey yo!
All right, so welcome everybody to another episode of the Smart Dumb Podcast. I already pray for both of us. I already know.
Somebody pray for me. Okay. I'm gonna be still.
Oh my God, I already know. But listen, today we are joined by it's wild. Like, I think we've really only known each other 3 years, 4 years, or whatever. But
I think about 3. Oh my gosh, 2025. Sheesh.
yeah, it's wild. But yes, a poetry friend, a actual friend, a fellow poet, an author, a veteran, also on the spectrum with me,
You can't tell.
Right, that's messed up. I'm sorry, no disrespect.
I love it. It's all respect. Like, respect the spectrum.
I'm talking about the ones that actually are like, we mock them. Neither one of us is like, we just got problems. Yeah,
right,
but
right.
Today I'm joined.
Yeah.
Today I'm joined by Miko Reed, fellow podcaster as well. That's why this is going to be so much like, I think she's going to take over hosting. And
I'm going to try not to.
And that's why it's going to happen, despite your best efforts. So let me let you introduce yourself even further. Like, there's some stuff about you I don't know.
All right. Okay, so I won't do pirouettes, guys. I just want to sit here and be calm and just introduce myself. All right. My name is Miko Reed. If you are looking for me on some socials, it might have Collins at the end. That's because I'm newly divorced. But how long do you say newly, right? Oh, no. But it was finalized in 2023, which feels like yesterday to me. But I am, right. I'm a poet, an author, a motivational speaker. I like to think that. A podcaster. I am an Army vet. My new podcast is called Boots to Heels with Nikki and Miko. Check it out, subscribe, like the episodes. It gets into it. And I'm a mom of 2, almost 20-year-old. Sheesh, that's crazy. And a almost 12-year-old. So I don't sound like it's such a big gap, but it really is 8 years gap. I'm an avid skater. Sometimes I'm good at it. Sometimes I'm not.
Do it though.
And I have ADHD, and I think that it's important to mention because my entire life I was not diagnosed with it. But it was always a joke. It was like a running joke. Even as recent as 2 years ago, I think I was at an event and I was just like, dang, I was like, do I have ADHD? And then someone was like, don't you? Like, and I was like, no, what are you talking about? I was like, do I? So quick story, because I'm gonna let you get into your question. But so
okay.
I was taking my son. I was taking my kids to therapy after the divorce, so like, and the near end of it. And I'm sitting there with their therapist, And so, we're like, okay, yeah, your kids, they might have ADHD, da 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 da. And I'm like, yep, they probably get that from their father because, like, yeah. And she's like, so, like, how therapists, they like, right? She's like, um, so are you medicated? I was like, oh, no, I don't have any issues. I don't take medicine for anything. Like, no. Maybe sometimes I take Tylenol. So I went on this whole tangent about like Tylenol and how I had like spine surgery, two of them, and then I used to take medicine then. And she's like, "Yeah, you have ADHD." I was like, "No." She was like, "No."
Right.
I'm like,
That wasn't a question.
"Okay." So that's kind of how I went on this journey to actually get diagnosed,
Hmm.
right? Because yeah, and that was an eye opener for me because I realized like, okay, I'm a creative procrastinator because I used to think I can multitask, but actually I'm doing a lot of everything.
Hmm.
It became like it got to the point that I wasn't finishing anything.
Right. Right.
And so that's why Adderall became my friend. And I was like, oh, like now I'm not on it. I don't know if you could tell, but yeah, that's a look away. Like we could tell, but it's because I took a break. Sometimes I just got to pause from it because
Sure.
for me it did like crush some of my ability to just go and do stuff. But that's how I finished my book. That's how um, not this book, not the eggshells book, but like subsequent books.
Right.
That's how I was able to finish it because I was just like, I need something to help me focus.
Right. Right. So,
Anyway, so that's who I am, guys. I am Miko Reed. Yeah.
so so basically the diagnosis was like 2 years ago.
The diagnosis was is 2020. Yeah, it was 2022. It was
Okay.
2022 because we were separated from 2021. So that whole 2022, I was a mad woman. And I was outside like consecutively, consistently. Don't those words mean the same sometimes? Like maybe not, because one
No.
is in order and one is all the time. But I was outside, right? You're thinking it, right? I
No,
was outside.
consecutively is just back to back, and consistently is just it happens often.
Yeah, yeah. So I was doing both, and in
Mhm.
terms of like poetry, I was consistently,
Consecutively.
consecutively
Yo.
concentrating.
Tight.
Well, I need another C to finish this alliteration, but and that's when I realized like, oh my God, I could do so much. I had like all these open mics, I was performing, I was hosting, I was everywhere.
Right.
And then it wasn't until like the end of 2022 when I'm like, and that's when the diagnosis came.
I
I'm like,
see. I see. No, that's fascinating because like yeah, for like the whole my bipolar symptoms and that diagnosis didn't come till 2020. So it's like yeah, all of us because I wish I remember. Oh, K Love, she just did a poem. It was an amazing poem.
oh
And I
yeah,
think hers is an anxiety
anxiety.
disorder, and that got diagnosed like within 5 years. You know what I mean? It's just so much. It's like, man, if I'd have known that earlier.
Right. I feel like I
Like,
would have been light years ahead.
but maybe these things, I don't know, maybe these things happen for a reason, in their timing. But the beautiful thing in all three cases is like, all right, but we do know, and we have pivoted and kind of put that in our toolbox and made it work for each of us. So yeah, shout out to that for sure.
And I wonder about this, being diagnosed at such big ages, right,
Right,
in our lives. It's like, is it because our parents, back in those days, for me,
right,
a little further back, but back in those days, we didn't
right.
really get into mental health, right? So like, I'm so sure that yeah, I was a straight A student. I remember my grandmother raised me, and I was telling her to tell my kids like, tell them like I was straight A, and she was like, you had a B, and I was like, oh dang, okay. But like that was so what's the need to
Right.
say
It
that?
was just crushed the
Oh,
dream.
right. But they didn't believe in like mental health, taking us to the doctor. Like we just sucked it up. We dealt with it.
Right.
And maybe that's a big factor that feeds into why we're just kind of getting diagnosed.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
yeah,
100%. And also, and to be fair, that's what there was another like a family friend of mine, and she told me about her journey and how like the diagnosis was later. She's younger than I don't know. She like not super younger, but
Bored
she was
already?
definitely younger than me. You said bored? Oh yeah, I've been
Bored
bored. What
already?
you mean? I took a nap all that time it took you to log off.
Gotcha.
She behind the fourth wall. I love it here. She she was also pointing out the fact that like, but also back then, if you did finally take, did get a medication, did get a diagnosis, you were basically admitting that you're full out crazy. Like we didn't have the advanced understanding, the nuances,
Yeah.
as far as the professional side of things either. So it was like, yeah, they are stubborn, but they also didn't have the resources that we had back then. So
Yeah.
to be
And we
fair
were
to them a
lumped
little bit.
into two cat. It's like either you're on that short bus,
Right,
that's in that small classroom getting
right,
special attention, or you're thriving, or you're in a classroom that everyone is normal and
right,
you're not really thriving. You're like you're just barely making it.
right.
Yeah,
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 so nah, that was yeah. So it was a few factors. Everything wasn't necessarily like neglect or pride, but pride was a factor for sure. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, here we are kind of getting to ours. Then we're the generation that's kind of learning to make that available for, our kids, and that's why I'll give you the floor for you know what I mean? Like you're trying to not be that parent, but it's like, trying to understand, but what are you building that off of? Like, what are you pulling from to be the understanding of, of what is now, quote unquote, what is normal as far as diagnosis. So how has that been? Like, trying to be supportive, but it's like, but what am I support? I kind of don't know what I'm doing, respectfully.
yeah. It's funny, like I and I keep going back to my book because it's interesting how I wrote so much of that in my book.
Mm,
But there's this chapter near the last part of my book under personal essays. And I had to get my daughter's permission because when I wrote it, I think she was about 15, maybe 15. And it was talking about her anxiety.
mm-hmm.
And she she always tells this story like, Mom, you were not as understanding as you think you were. And I was like, no. I was like,
Sweet,
my
right,
baby, have a
right,
seat. Let's talk. She was like, no, you were walking with your combat boots and be like, I got to get to work. My commander not playing. Suck it up. Suck it up. Wipe those tears. We are tough. We are strong. Because I'm like, what are you crying for?
right.
You every freaking
Everything.
thing. Like
Mm,
every MacBook, every latest phone, every you got me in your life.
right.
Like, hello,
I'm
I love you.
amazing. What are you talking about? Right.
What the hell we talking about? You know what I'm saying? I'm a cool mom. And
Right.
I just I it went over my head that she
Yeah.
was suffering from anxiety, that she was suffering from panic disorder. She used to say, she used to be disruptive in middle school. And I used to be like, she just wants attention. Like, it doesn't make sense. But it was disruptive because no one was listening and paying attention to her.
Right.
Um, and again, like, I want to preface this was with, I got her permission to, talk about this
Right.
segment.
For sure.
Uh, I wrote it in the book. And now she's 19, almost 20. And anything beyond this book, I don't really discuss unless her and I talk about it. Uh, but yeah, this book was going to print. And I went in her room, was like, hey, look at this, essay I wrote. And so she read it. And that's when she called me back in and was like, this is not true. Like, are you calling me a liar?
Right.
Like,
Like,
so authentic, okay?
right,
Look
right,
in a dictionary. And so he was like, no. It took a whole, so to your question, it took a whole year almost.
mm,
Sixth grade from the end of sixth grade to the middle of seventh grade. So that's like a calendar year or maybe 8 months for me to take her to talk to somebody because I'm listening to sorry friends, I'm listening to my friends. They're like, girl, ain't nothing wrong with that girl. She got everything. She has the picket fence, she has this house and friends, and she flies for trips. Like, she goes to this place in New York and Cal, like we went
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah,
But I realized that it wasn't those things, that it was inside of her. No matter where I took her, she still struggled with this anxiety. I didn't know what anxiety was.
right,
I just thought I thought it was punk behavior. Like honestly, like that's so Jen asking me. Like I'm just like,
Yeah.
um. But when she sat and she talked to that therapist, and then I sat with her, I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry,
Mm.
I was wrong. I was wrong, and it takes so much inside of me because I've gone through so much, and I've quote unquote sucked it up, and I didn't understand
Yeah.
why a kid who hasn't gone through nearly as much
Right.
in my mind, is having issues coping with day-to-day anxiety.
And further, actually, if we do the, because that's one thing in the Black community, the struggle Olympics. So if you did line up, you probably have gone through more than she did.
I
I don't know
won.
why wow, that's that's not where I was going. See, this is why we need to share the
I like
script.
the okay, my bad. Okay, good.
That was not the
Reel this back in. Because I don't want to that's not good.
That's a celebration. Oh my God, I wasn't ready for that. But absolutely, no, I think it is fair that you did go through, but that's not, it's like just because that's the route you did go doesn't mean that's how we should do it, right? Like that's where we mess up. Again, as a culture, like this isn't about pointing a finger at any one of us. Like it's very, like I'm so glad you're just being authentic about it. And it's like and I'll be the one, it's like, yeah, no, you're just speaking the truth of the situation. Like don't none of that cancel culture shit. Like we're growing, you know what I mean? But it's okay to admit. Yeah, it's okay to admit that I appreciate that. But like, yeah, it's just
I would
that
have got
she shouldn't have to. But the other thing, the irony of it all is like if you put yourself in her perspective, and I'm sure whether you said it 3 times, but a bunch of other people said it over and over, like she's surrounded, she understands, well, I'm privileged and I get to do all this and I get to do all that. And I'm just, and all I have to do is, get good grades and all that. And I have this pressure to not, like, I don't have an excuse to fail,
right.
like ever. And then probably as somebody who's high performing and prideful herself and wants to accumulate, that's where all this anxiety come from. Is it I don't know where my next meal is coming from? No.
Right.
But it's yeah, it's this like a B is failure. A C, like we shipping you off to that family in North Carolina, that family in the South, like Spike Lee
Right.
movies, you know what I mean? So
Right. Like
you
quickly, like you're going down to the south.
exactly.
Okay.
Right, right. New camera lens. He's an
Damn,
interesting guy.
it really put that in perspective for me.
Yeah.
Like in real time, it just
Yeah.
hit me again that her issues weren't her issues were high performing, like
Yeah.
needing to be like literally. I just saw on a Facebook memory that I had posted 14 years ago this morning. My baby on principal's honor roll again, all A's. That B is going to come up. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize I was putting
But
so
you
much.
meant good well though. Yeah.
Wow, yeah,
Yeah. So, but and that's a lot of things in general. Sometimes you got to step outside of that circumstance because who knows what you was at, where you were at, at that particular, time in life, right? So it's like, nah, it's yeah. Shout out to intrusive social media for reminding us.
yes. Like,
We didn't even,
thank you, Meta,
you know.
thank you, AI. Yeah,
Nah, this is good. I appreciate this, for sure. And yeah, just hearing you, it's good. We're not going, this isn't my interview, but like talking about, you reflecting on your, raising the daughter. Let me ask you that. Do you feel like, did you want a boy and a girl when, coming up? One, do you feel like one is easier or harder, or one was preferred to raise? Like what was that?
that's a funny question. So, my daughter was the easiest growing up, like from birth up until 13
Okay,
to 13. And even after that, and I say, and it's bad of me, like I don't want to say she was hard because she had anxiety, you know what I mean? I think it was hard for me because I didn't understand it.
sure.
And we just talked about that. So honestly, she was easy really up until the divorce started, and that will do some things to a kid in general. So yeah, now, whew, yeah, she's She's a young adult and she's trying to figure out life. She's in college, and okay, the sun is coming back.
Right. Listen.
Golden child.
Uh, uh,
Okay, but so she's just going through those aspects of trying to figure out. I don't like my major, mom. I don't want. I want to change schools. I don't, and I'm like, but she's an adult now,
yeah,
right?
right.
Now my son, whew, this Power Ranger, this Megazoid is
Mhm.
he is beautiful, amazing,
Mhm.
curious, creative, and busy, and he is a boy's boy. If
Mhm.
if you look like Jesus a little bit, if you understand what I mean. The sun, it just keeps coming. It keeps coming on top of your head. So he is yeah, he is a bit more difficult for me. Not because he's being difficult, it's because I'm not a man, and I am just like I tell my friends and my sisters, they're single moms, and they're like, "Girl, you gotta be harder. You gotta be," and I'm like, "What you mean? I gotta be harder?" Like, so I raised my voice, and he's like, why do you have to raise your voice, Mom? It's like I can't win. Like if I'm raising
Right.
my voice, it's too much. If I'm not raising, I'm not hard enough. And then I'm like, I'm doubling down on, listen, you're a black boy in America. And he's like, does that mean I can't live? Like, does that mean I have to always be conscious of that when I walk out the house? And I'm like, dog, you're 11. Why are we having this
Right, why are we
conversation?
doing this? Right. Do you so? Because I feel like at 11, you probably had that same mind. We just didn't have that permission. Like
Right.
half
Yeah.
half the sentences, it would have been like the shit slap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right,
It's a
forward and
backhand.
backward. Right? Do you miss those days?
I
Like, should we
do.
just like, why are you
I,
talking to?
I'm like, I think
Shut
sometimes
up.
like I don't want to hear you talk. Why are you talking to me like an adult? Like,
And
yeah,
why are you winning? Why are you making good points and I don't have a kind of like, what is going on? I
all I can do is like, and my friend's like, well, you wanted them to have a voice. You started your have a voice.
got
Here we go. Shut the up. It should be the
right.
next company, okay?
Right. I'm gonna make another LLC called Shut Your Ass Up.
Yes. Children should be seen and not heard. No, let me stop. I
No,
subscribe to that. But yeah.
right. You're
Oh,
supposed to say that out loud. Good job.
yeah, I have to say that because I'll get
Right.
canceled.
Right. And I haven't fixed it either. That's I'm part of the problem. Thank you.
Yeah.
Trying to
Yeah.
save my podcast on my behalf. So Booster Hills, like what, like I know what it sounds like, what, but like talk about that. Like what is the origin? Now, first of all, no. What's the actual name of the book? Because everybody doesn't know. The book that you have been promoting. Oh, that is right there. Look at that. See? Right.
Yeah, you gotta, and it's thick, it is thick. But
Mm-hmm.
no, yeah, it's eggshells and soft black hands. And look at my hands covering right now. This is the old book. The new book, it has like a picture of me in purple and pink and whatever. And it's a different color. It's not red. And it has just Miko Reed on it. And it's on Amazon. This
Okay.
is this is my first book. And then I have subsequent books. And if
Right.
you go on Amazon, one is a book of fiction, and there's another that just kind of like a compilation that I'm a part of.
Mm-hmm.
So um, but yeah, you asked me about Boots to Hills.
Yeah, but before that, so I just think that's crazy because I asked you about my book and if I could make adjustments to my book, and you were like, "Nah, I'll leave that in." But
Because
now,
I like your book. I mean, what you mean? You not
mm,
recently?
mm.
You don't have a last name change. You didn't land on last name changes. I
That's
did.
not. So that's the only. So that was yours was that was like that's very churchy of you. It's like but this is marriage related, so you could make that. Y'all just that was whatever. That's fine. All right. That's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine. I'm gonna take it out anyway. All right. So you're probably. I'm not gonna. It's not. She's not that important. Anyway, the podcast Booster Hills.
Yes. Boots to Heels is the equivalent of what the book was to me. Like
Mm,
the book was my baby. It was just it what's the word I'm looking for? I've already said compilation, but it's another word I can't think of. But included everything that I have written. It included everything that I have written from the age of like 22
Uh-huh.
up until 2021.
Mm.
That's what's in this book. That it was like, ah, finally, you know, when you finally reach nirvana, like you're like the Oprah aha moment, like, and then you can breathe. You're like, ah, this is it. That's what that was. So
Nice.
Boost Hills is that for podcasting for me. I grew up having a lot to say, but not being able to say a lot.
Mm.
Yeah. I didn't think that I deserved to be heard. Because it's like, who am I to 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 have people sit there and just listen to me
So
talk?
imposter syndrome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was my middle name. Yeah. It still is to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I still struggle with it. And I think Boost to Hills is kind of getting me out of it because it's like, yeah, I should be heard. Like,
Right.
why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't we? We've done the work leading up to this point. Not like degrees make it uh like you should be heard because you have these degrees. No, I have a point of view, and I did do some research, and I did study, and I do have capstones surrounding the things that I want to talk about, and you know, so Booster Hill is it's just a platform for former veterans. That's my best friend and I, Army vets, and now we're in corporate America, and we got a lot to say. You know what I mean? And we also want to give back to the veteran community, so we offer snippets of what's going on in the veteran world. Like for instance, I'm buying my house right now. I thought I could just buy a house because I have the VA loan, but it turns out like nah, you need money. You gotta put some money down. It's a lot more than just like check this VA loan out, bitch. Like it's more like, yeah. So we're offering a lot of that advice, but we're also talking about like current events, our lives, how they intersected with each other as Black women, as veterans, and as women in America right now. And we already know what that is right now. That's a little
Right. Right. That's wild. You're not short on material at
right.
all. Now, do you feel like, do either one of y'all feel like, you kind of got to tiptoe with how the podcast is? And, I mean, it's not like y'all using, I guess, is it ma'am names? Is it still surname? Are y'all, see what I did? Is that
Right,
like, do
right,
y'all
right,
feel like,
right.
you feel
Pronoun.
like, pronouns? Why'd you
Right.
roll your eyes with pronouns? We still got a lot of work to do. It's okay. It's
I
okay.
know I'm canceled.
Maybe, maybe
Just
step.
delete the podcast. I'll be talk to you later.
Let me tell
No.
you something. No, we're doing great so far. All right.
You know my history. Woo, keep it
Are, yeah. So we're doing great. Yeah, we're doing great. But yeah, so do you feel like, do you feel like you have to censor yourself a little bit, as far as this?
I'm sorry, 1 second. Sorry.
No, you
You
good.
know, people want to know what I just did. Like,
I mean,
sorry.
now you guys say it. Because like we could have just moved on. You could be like, all right, I handled it. But
Okay.
now,
So I'm thirsty. And I just like tapped my glass for my sister to get me some water. I said,
so
like,
bougie.
that is
So
so
bougie.
messed up.
That
Like,
really is.
I
And then
mean,
you announced it. Like it was one thing
yeah,
to do it, and now you just fortunately it's like 7 people gonna watch this. Oh, that's wild. You have an
we gonna
amazing
finish.
sister. Wow. Because I would have put it like over there. Feel like you could walk your ass to this.
Oh
What is
shoot.
this?
Okay.
What was that?
Oh,
Purina Chow? Like that old the
yeah.
cat commercial? Like you ting ting. That's
That's
crazy.
yeah, that was crazy. But I didn't want to like interrupt the podcast, which I
Yeah.
just
So
oh,
you just did right. So you just inconvenience your blood. Yeah, that's what's up. I see the difference.
good.
Yeah,
Okay.
that wow. Yeah.
So
All right. What was my question?
um I have ADHD, so I don't remember. But it was surrounding
Do you feel
do I
yeah,
feel like I got a tiptoe? I
yeah,
can't
yeah,
believe
yeah, there you go. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Right.
okay. Do I feel like sometimes I do. I sometimes I do. And most times, even when I do, I lean into not. And and so at the editing aspect of it, I may, reach out to our producers like, hey, you think you could cut that part out? Because I don't think it's the climate for me to say that. Because I'd be crazy. No, I say a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just not like Tourette's or anything, but like it's I can't even say that. Like I don't know what is cancel culture now? How come like why can't we just say what the fuck we want to say, you know? And
I mean, yeah, so let's get into that. You can, it's just consequences.
yeah.
And what does that mean? It depends. And are you willing to, cause so like for example, shoot, there's that one clown comedian, Andrew Schultz, is saying everything he feels like saying.
Mm,
Right? And there's no consequence. Like people keep talking about consequences, but there's no consequences. Like nobody's walked up and punched him in the face yet. And I hate that for us because we always talking, until it needs to happen. Like Andrew Zimmerman's walking around so, George Zimmerman, excuse me, walking around so healthy, and I don't like that. And I
right.
probably should. Did I just get canceled? I don't know.
No, because it was irrelevant.
Yeah.
Uh, Yeah,
Yeah,
he
but no,
should.
I'm not. We supposed to turn the other cheek and all that other type of bullshit. But
Uh,
anyway, yeah, it's like so. A lot of times, cancel culture is what you allow it to be. And a lot of and I will say this because a lot of those, like when you talk about comedians that give like comedians baseline is not I'm here to say the right thing to uplift everybody at all times, right? So it's when people present themselves, present their brand to be something, and then it is a sharp left all of a sudden.
right,
So that's
right,
part of what it is. Part of what it is like if that's not who you are, don't even lead with
right.
that towards this big change. You know what I mean? But also, cancel culture ain't what it was. Like it
Uh,
had, like we're moving away from it.
I feel like we are moving away because man, cancel culture used to
Oh,
remember.
you used to, right?
Remember a couple years ago, we texted and you like, you know what?
This is
You said my government. If I saved your chats, if I saved
be
you,
out of there.
you're out of there. And I'm
Out of
like,
there. We both be deported. We not even
yeah,
like, you know what I mean? It's like, damn, this is.
yeah. Or like the 14th Amendment. Like we would not be like, nah, you got to go.
We
You
would
got to
be
go.
in the jail because when that's part of the rule is like slavery is not unless you commit a crime. They'd be like, yeah, no,
Right.
this is
Yeah.
felonies
This
all
is
over the place.
felonious. This is crime committing behavior.
Yeah, nah, this like this. So yeah, nah, do it at your own risk. I always like even like even the white people that try to do the whole like why can't I say the N word? You can
Right.
go for it and then deal with it like fuck around and find out. Like you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like that.
Oh,
That's right. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I am with that. And, but I think for you though, it is real because it's not just any corporate job. Like that's a very big, perception based, kind of industry company, et cetera, organization, like, so that that is a factor. That's part of things. Like, that's kind of why, like, excuse me, although government is obviously safe and I'm in IT and probably could have had a good career there, my
right.
personality probably wouldn't have fit.
Now you wouldn't have
Yeah.
listen. You wouldn't have made it.
Right.
You would have made it up to a point where you intentionally said, "I'm
Fuck
not going." to
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this ain't worth it. Right,
I
right, right.
know that about you.
Yeah, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And then the crazy thing was when that man took away remote work, I was like, oh, I ain't missing nothing. I would have walked out. I
Listen,
would have
I gotta
walked
go
out.
back.
Yeah, it's like and shout out. I see that, and shit, we both jumping like because I'm undiagnosed ADHD. I don't even need to check that one.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Some have it more than others.
You
I'm
agree a little
some,
bit
but
too aggressively with that. I ain't like
like yeah. We
right,
idiots.
right. I was waiting for you to say it. Now that you said it, I agree.
Yeah,
See, I know a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people are like, I'm gonna be, out of spite. I'm gonna show that I'm not about to walk out and get pushed out and all that. And I love that for y'all. But I probably would have been, I'd have been R&D for sure, for
yeah. I want to
sure.
be out. I do, but
Yeah,
I mean, Can I? No.
Mm.
Like realistically, at some point, but
Yeah.
in this year, no. I
But
couldn't see it out this year.
aren't you also, I mean, at least though, are you, and I don't know, and we're not trying to be all in your pockets, but aren't you, at least there's a timetable to to a pension, a retirement or something? Like there's a light
Oh
at the
yeah.
end of the tunnel, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I get some my coins. I get some my
Yeah.
coins. Like
Yes.
I am a retired vet, so I do retired Army vet. So I do benefit because I serve this country.
Right.
I serve this country.
Right.
And but yeah, but I still need more. I like more.
Yeah.
When you
No, but what I'm saying is like, because that's one of the problems with like a lot of corporate, but there's no guarantee of nothing. So at least like you're on the path to even work wise. There's again pension retirement from there. So you have something to really lose. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
war, right? So it's not the same thing. Like me, like this job right now, I gave them 3 years, they gave me their ass to kiss, right? Like just what it is. And so like now it's purely dealing with a tough situation. How do I, get to that fork in the road? How do you want to handle it? It's these things that are determining how much I continue to stay there. Not like, I mean, I got what 3 years. I did 3 years to get fully vested. That was pretty much the last objective. Anytime in the future, right? So if I walk, I'm not really missing much. You know what I mean? Definitely nothing guaranteed. You feel what I'm saying? But
Right,
that's not your
right,
circumstance.
right.
Yeah. All right. Book
Yeah, it's not
podcast.
my
How did
ain't
you
mine.
your co-hosts? What was that? I'm gonna go. You can lie. I'm gonna
That's
go
my
look up the
group.
read. That's cool. I'm gonna look at the video again. I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? Anyway, your co-host. How far did y'all like? When did y'all first get to meet each other? How far back y'all go?
We met in 2011,
Okay.
2000. So she's my, and she likes to say this, we're adult best friends, because,
Yeah.
right, it's your best friend is someone you met at middle school or something and you guys, but no, we met in the military. And funny story, she actually met my ex first. Uh,
Mm,
our daughters were 6 years old and I was away for some military training and he was taking her to cheerleading, and our both of our daughters were in cheer.
right.
So yeah, and so then he came home and was like, hey, here's a number of, like, imagine this. This is so funny. Here's a number of a cheer mom I just met. Maddie and her daughter seem to click, but also she was real cool. I'm like, what? Huh? Like,
Okay.
and you're like, no, not like that, but like,
Right.
I told her I was married and I wanted to give her number for you. This is where I would insert cricket, cricket,
Right. The
cricket.
smell. Yeah. This isn't passing the smell test. Yeah.
Like, what? So I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'll be dropping the kid off next week. So, I'm dropping her off. And she's sitting there, cool as a fan. And I think she had an army uniform on. And she's just reading something in an iPad. And it was like a Gucci iPad case. And I was like, who is this fit? A Gucci iPad case in 2011 with an army uniform. Um, and she had her legs crossed, her little combat boots. And I was like, hi, I'm, Miko, Madison's mom. Oh, hi. Real country, Southern. It's nice to meet you. Yes, your husband told me that. I was like, oh, okay. And she got up with this big old booty. And I'm like,
That didn't
oh,
help. That didn't help
I'm
either.
like, wait a minute. Okay. But we clicked. It was so crazy. And I'm a benefit of the doubt giver, because I was just like, okay, she a baddie. I'm a baddie. Okay,
Right.
here we are. Back in 2011, that's the thought process. It's like, okay. And our kids were actually really cool with each
And
other.
2025. I don't know why you acted like
But,
that's
back then, because
whatever.
I have a blazer, that means I'm mature now.
Ah, yes, 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 yes.
Button up. I'm more buttoned up and polished. Let me.
Hmm. Right.
Okay. So,
Demure.
oh
All
wait,
that. Right.
I'm
Nobody. I don't think anybody felt believed that just now, but it was great. Like it was fantastic acting.
So,
Speaking of acting, I'm just kidding. So, totally kidding. That
yeah,
so okay, that's hilarious.
so that's how. Yeah.
Did you you say you gave her the benefit of the doubt, but the story didn't help though. Like you had started formulating some stuff first of all because you had to wait a whole week.
A whole week
Oh
before
my
I
God!
started
Oh, you wrote a whole
self
book.
talk.
Oh, you wrote a whole book about what this was really doing, and then you walk up and you like, who the like? Oh yeah, yes,
Was this
right,
melanin popping, beautiful military officer with the
right,
big booty and Gucci
right,
cake? Now I'm
right,
like,
right. Oh no, we got a problem.
they cheated. They cheated.
Right.
I'm conspiring. That she's the enemy. She the ops. But
Was she? Do you like at that particular time? Was she already in a relationship as well?
I didn't know anything about her.
I got you. Right.
She was, because I did ask. I was like, was her husband there? Like, well, I didn't see a ring. I'm like, okay,
All
okay.
right. All right. What did you see?
You saw the big booty too.
Right,
Okay.
right, right. What did she show you? What you didn't tell me what you didn't see? What
What
did you
did
see?
you see on this cheerleading field with our 6-year-olds? Huh? But the irony is that like I was just like, all right, you know, I think he said that she told him, I can help drop your daughter off if necessary, because both of us were in the military at the time. And I
Right.
think that's how the conversation got sparked. So because the military is very open to connecting, that was the saving grace because I was like, dang, that's true. I really did. I think I was a E6 at the time, a staff sergeant. And I was just like, I do need some assistance with drop off. And I knew he was going away for a military thing. So I just thought, okay, maybe this is okay. So when we started talking, we exchanged numbers and we just clicked. We just clicked. She had nobody though. So no, stop. I don't know who you had, girl. Did you have a man at that time? But that's my best friend in the
Yeah.
world now. I love her. And we just clicked immediately,
That's
and our
great.
daughters clicked, and then we started like going out, going everywhere together.
Right.
It's
It's just
just
from
like
there. And
we
so prior, I think it was really more so 2023. You can correct me, but y'all got into those lives, and you were playing around with. Would you consider was that a precursor, or you know what I mean? Like, did that have anything to do with, hey, let's do a podcast and coming into 2025?
so fun fact. So she retired in 2012
Okay.
from the military, and I retired in 2019. 2019, she was like, Miko, we should do a Boots to Heel reality show. And I was like, what? She was like, yes, the real housewives of retired. I was like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, and I mean, we were just out of control.
Right.
We were just buying cases of, I don't know, we was just partying. We had the time. And but we didn't do that. We just put a pin in it because then the pandemic happened. But even to roll this back a little more, back
Right.
in 2012, the first year after we had met, we started it was called Girls Rock with Reading. We started this company. It was Girls Rock with Reading LLC, and it was about like enhancing the oratorical skills of young girls in in Howard County. That's where we were living at the time. And that grew and it was amazing and beautiful. Oh, thank you. The sun is coming for me now. And I got pregnant and I was like, oh man. So we only did it for a year because that was like a hard pregnancy. We never revisited it. But that was the beginning of us saying, let's partner together. Let's do some
Right.
things, let's make an impact.
Right.
Uh, but that podcast, that has been in the works. Something was in the works with
Right.
the name Boots to Heels
Right.
because first of all, it's catchy, it's cute.
Right.
We're Army vets with combat boots, and now we red bottom baddies. So no, let me stop. But let me stop because I don't want people to think that I'm.
I don't want to know, right? I mean, you're literally telling on yourself. I'm not doing. I am really just sitting here while you are revealing the person that, but it's gonna work. Your tribe gonna continue to find you. It's
Yeah.
your raggedy ass. No, keep don't stop. It's too late. It's too late. That's crazy that you
I'm saying peace.
that's not this is why you're no,
It's
that
one more
was
time you
not
need help.
right. Right.
Yeah.
But no, that is fire. Like, and I like that. Yeah, that even that something like that. Like, it's been something y'all knew something, or you wanted to do something, and it's been a few years. And then that also explains, like, for y'all to be, kicking off and just right to it like it is. Well, it's not like we just been freestyling. Like, no, this has been our friendship has been over a
Yeah.
decade. The
Yeah.
idea, the name has been 5, 6 years. Like, this is we finally partly probably partially got out of y'all own way, but also the opportunity, presented itself, and this seems to be like the right time. And here y'all are.
And we before, so it's like, when I follow the timeline, it's like, okay, it was Girls Rock with reading. We did that. That was amazing. We, a lot of girls are all like 19 and 20 now, and they come back and say, their parents come back and say, you really got them to open up. And now this is the path that they're on. I'm like, wow, because the Girls Rock with reading. Okay, I love it. So we're kind of thinking about circling back to that,
Right.
uh, just because it is necessary, right?
Yeah.
Um, but then after that, we played around with Who's the Hill being a reality show. We drafted some things up. Then like that didn't work out, and then we started doing Champagne Connoisseur because you lean into what you like. And at the time, we just loved champagne. Like we loved it, and it felt classy. It felt like this is us. So we started reviewing champagnes around the world. We took a class online. It's to be a champagne mook. It's just like a connoisseur of champagne. And we are about four
Is
classes
that the
away.
real name?
Yeah.
Wow. Racism is just, it's okay. Go ahead. You go.
It's not. That's an acronym. MOOC. Okay.
They had so many options. You're
What,
perpetuating your
what
prodigy.
is it? What is I don't know what the acronym stands for. I'm gonna find out.
Exactly.
But I know the
Exactly.
last one is champagne.
Colored. Right. Got you.
Master of
Oh no.
color.
Oh
Champagne.
no. Let's move on. Is it really bad? It probably is bad. Oh my God. Next
You
subject.
mook.
Ew.
I'm a mook. No,
Ew.
but yeah, so we started reviewing so many champagnes, and we started the Champagne Connoisseur, and yeah, we're planning on getting our certificate of that before the summer. Like that's the goal. And now we're on Boots to Heels,
Yes.
and we are excited about it. And notwithstanding that there are so many podcasts out there, right?
Right.
But
It's not
okay,
yours. Right.
it's not
It's not
right.
yours.
And I
Like
like
I have a responsibility. Like, I'm a black man with a podcast. I don't care how big or how small it gets. I just have a responsibility not to be a raggedy ass nigga. Like, I have to, like, they need y'all when they talk about don't give that nigga a microphone. Like, y'all not talking about me. I'm not doing
right,
relationship advice and here's what's wrong with you black women and why you ain't know. And it's also not getting clicks. Because that's the
right.
thing people don't talk about is like the controversy gets the views. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out to tonight's conversation. They having a great time right now.
Yeah, their views are God. Yeah,
They are
and
full controversy mode right now. Shout out to them. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, so yes.
it's a struggle trying to
Was
figure
that?
out how to get the views, right?
Yeah,
But then you got to remember, like, while yes, we're doing this, the premise, the basis, the reason isn't because we want to get the views
right,
because we want to be popular. Like, it's like, no, I want you to hear what I have to say,
right.
and I want that to be an organic flow to you
Absolutely.
passing this bitch to your friends so the views can come up.
Right,
But also, it's like let's give some great information. Let's unpack real life situations.
right.
And for us, we're like, what would we like to have heard when we were retiring? So
Hmm.
there's that segment. But then also like we're some fun. I hate the word middle age because then it's like no, like we're some fun, cool women, and like what's going on in this age group life. My friend, you've met her one time, at your sorry, your open mic.
You're a little open. It was
No,
right. It
no,
was
no.
right
I
there.
hate to say
The
the word
funky
little.
ass. Yeah, right.
You're
I
cute.
know who you talking.
Yeah,
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Let's not lie. That was the season finale too. Was the crazy?
yeah.
That was
Oh
the.
yeah.
That was great. I'm sorry. I know you talking about now. I got you.
No,
Right,
baby.
you pulled up an OG vet, pulled up your man, pulled. We talking about like people in
Yes,
stay out stamping the joint, like yo, this is good. And I
yes.
know y'all, none of y'all be lying. If it was ass, you'd have pulled me to the. Hey,
Right. It was dope.
and they was like, yeah, but you ain't make no money,
Let's
so
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
it's
but I implore you to do another one. Like even the first one you did, when you
that one off, yeah, and the
that
and
one off was and
yeah,
like where's the footage? I really want that. But anyway,
I had to go. Oh.
uh,
Yeah. Now, what's that story? My man, yeah, shout out to bro, but he was he had some legitimate personal issues going on, and then it just got to the point that it just like at some point I'm like, I'm not even for real worried about it, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
but I got pictures.
Okay, yeah, true, true.
But
Um,
yeah.
I'm not worried about it either. I just wanted to ask, like, I
Mm.
thought I did a really good job when I want my footage. Like, that's how artists be like, look,
Right. I hear you and all whatever, yeah, your friend and yeah, all right. So what
look,
does that have to
look.
do?
So my friend came up to the actual open mic that you had, and like it was definitely dope. And
Appreciate it.
she said we are like we're the in between. You know what I mean? That's her thing. She's coining like Miko, that 40 to I was like, girl, put it to 60, put it to 60 because now that I'm 50,
All right.
before I was 50, I was like in my late 40s. She was like 40 to 50. It's the in between. I'm like, yeah, yeah. Now I'm like 40 to 60. Can we do that? It's
I've been
that.
waiting for, I'm sorry, hold and continue that immediately. I've been waiting for you to throw I know people do not, that people that didn't already know your age do not believe you right now. So carry on.
Uh, no, I don't know. I feel 50, but
Okay.
it's like I don't because what does 50 feel like, right?
Right.
But anyway, she said we're the in between. We're that age where it's like when we say period, it's like what? When we say I really like that concept, it's
Right.
like
It
why you
still
say
feels
that?
right. That's funny. This is dope. I like this.
Yeah, we don't know. Like we
Yeah.
can't like clock that T, boo. My daughter's
Right.
like, please. Oh, look at
Yeah.
God. Look at God.
Oh my God. He's so annoying. He's so
God on you.
Yo, I'm hot actually. Let's talk about that. That's the bad
I don't
part.
like it. But yeah, I don't. And so that's for me. That's the part of trying to figure out what to say,
Yeah.
um, because I feel like clock that T, boo. But then it's like I feel like yes, you should definitely lean into that.
Right, right.
It's the in between, and then
Circle
you
back.
struggle
Nice.
with what is inauthentic,
Mm-hmm.
what is immature, what
Mm-hmm.
no. Anyway, so I think I was saying we're that in between.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, no, that's no, it's that was good. I like that. And then as far as you know what the other thing is it's authentic, but it's just awkward. You know what I mean? Like when you get to a certain age and being cool ain't
It's
I
not
don't have
cool.
time to run around with that. So sorry, I'm about to say this goofy shit.
Yeah.
And you just going to have to be embarrassed because you like, I can't wait to embarrass my daughter on a regular
Oh, you
basis.
will. You probably might
She
already.
lucky. She lucky she's at a distance. But
Yeah.
that's not gonna save you neither, man. Like I I could fly
I,
one. I know how to use the edit technology too. Oh yeah, nah, it's shoot. They just
I embarrass my kids all the
all
time.
the
And it's
time.
on
You
purpose.
have to. That's like a privilege. It's a right, and it's a duty. Like
Yeah.
all of these things. Like that's why we have. God has allowed us to live long enough for you to bring children into the world. You
Yep.
must embarrass them.
It is a
What?
rite of passage as a parent.
Absolutely, yeah. They're gonna have to learn. Yeah, they're gonna like just because yeah, we respecting mental health diagnoses, but you still gonna get this. You still
Yeah,
gotta get a little bit of this roasting and all that.
you
You
have
gotta get
to
some of that.
like cry.
My dog,
Oh, I mean,
a little bit too far, because
oh,
you say Gen X, but you was also in the military. Like like y'all, yeah, y'all was
yeah.
normalized interactions is a
Like
different.
I
But
don't care if you're. Go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead. I just go. Go ahead.
my daughter tried to play us in Was that December or early? No, like mid January. And then it just so happened that my folks were in town and they were cycling through pictures, and they have a picture of her like I don't know 2 or 3 just completely naked in a sink, like they were doing just shower bath. So I was like, oh, okay, so you want to play me like this here? Now you got this picture, like now it's sent it, right? It just I probably would have sent it anyway, right? So it's like
Right,
she
right.
could have got straight A's and been on the presidential honor list and be like, look, but it made it seem like it was direct consequences, and
So
so
it's
that's what we did. And yeah, I'm 100% about to embarrass that girl. That's so
oh
many stories. You remember? I'm sorry. Do you remember the post where she said, or I said, I was helping her make the bed, and I said, face the bed, and she just face planted.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
On,
yeah, yeah.
oh, I would not. I can't wait till she graduates high school.
Tell that story.
Are you kidding me? And I get video. I'm not even making it up. Like, look.
My God.
Oh,
It,
okay, wait.
it's like what is she, how old is she now? Eight,
9.
7, 9.
Yeah, yeah.
9. Dang, okay. Oh, it's time. It's
Yeah.
time
Oh yeah,
now.
it's been time. Yeah, it's been time. Oh yeah, because she's not even like a 9-9. She's like a 14-9. It's
Yeah,
been time. Yeah, she's been trying to check us, correct us, all that. Like we oh this is my last one. We gonna keep it moving. But
no, no, no.
she told her mom because her mom be talking, she really don't like kids, but she be joking, and all that. She's like, well, if you don't my daughter said, well, if you don't like kids, then why you do that thing that make she
Oh,
went
oh.
Dog, oh yeah, like yeah, she did that. That occurred.
Now, does your daughter have how much access does she have to social media?
That's a great question. So she's allowed to just peruse other people's videos. So she be on YouTube a lot, and then YouTube showing TikTok. But I don't think her mom is letting her have an actual account anytime soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And she has a phone, obviously.
she does have a phone.
Okay. She has a phone. That's my struggle. Like how much social media
Yeah.
um do I allow? Like my son doesn't have, he does the same thing. He peruses. Then I found out like he said he was saying something that I was saying in one of my videos.
Oh, okay. Oh,
But he kept saying, I don't know, must have been like emotional damage. I don't know what it was. It was like a story or something I posted. And I was like, this, and he just kept laughing. You know when your kids are being sneaky. He's like,
right.
I was like, what? He's like, it's a saying, mommy, you should know that. And I was like, what is happening? He kept saying it. I said, give me your phone. This little
Mm.
boy had downloaded Instagram, got one.
Wow.
So I'm like, so that's my fear now. Like,
Did
dang,
he make an account?
he did. He made an
Wow.
account. I'm like, how are you able to make an account? It's like so many parental controls
What
that
up?
have to.
What email address? Like, do you like? Don't tell me, but did he like know your email address? Like, what did he do with that?
He made his own account from a made up email address.
Why does he know how to do this already?
Yeah, they know it all. Like they know it all. They know it all. And it's like you cannot keep them away. So it's like I'm constantly, I don't know this account. Let me block this
Right,
from going.
right,
Like,
right. 'Cause that might be him again.
yeah, it might be him. Like I don't want him to hear. And it's not
Yeah,
wrong. It's just adult. Like you're not.
right. That's a different. No, no. As a parent, like there's a certain, you know, you to present as a parent, and then there's the yeah, I'm having fun. I'm boosted heels. I'm a poet.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, yeah, that's no, it's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's
yeah.
crazy as
All my
well. He
stuff.
probably just watching the video. There's probably a step-by-step tutorial
So
to how to do it, and he followed it. And that's what pisses me off as a parent. It's like, oh, so you don't know how to do, oh, you forgot to do, but look at this. So it's all
right.
motivation. It's like when you want to, you will. You know what I mean? That's all that is. I I was gonna hop back over, but I won't. But what I do want to know, what I do want to speak on is you're very ambitious. Like I don't think that yeah, yeah, and also disjointed. See, you should have let me say the nice part because it's the Have a Voice, which really like didn't truly get talked about. The reading one you did, you done with it's Nikki, right?
Yep.
Okay, the podcast you doing with Nikki. Thank y'all for not doing a reality show. Scrap that. Yeah, like you can do like get in the because that's a problem. Reality show don't actually mean reality. Now, if y'all want to go out and like actually get with people and tell true stories,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm all for that. You know what I mean? But like that, just in general, you have a lot of ideas. So what from a promo side of things, like what are the things that you're willing to share that you're going to put yourself out there, like, okay, if I talked about it, that means I need to follow up. Like what are some of those, kind of like what's the future for Miko type situation?
Um, I think I have I've quit poetry twice in the last 2 years.
Hmm.
Um, one as recent as November.
Mm,
This is November 2024. I I think I was feeling like I didn't have anything else to say
mm,
poet.
mm,
And because I thought that, I got into a depression.
mm, mm.
Um, because I was just like, who am I if I'm not a poet? It's kind of like Wonder Woman when she changes from, what is Linda,
Yeah, Diana. I
whoever,
think it's Diana.
Diana, like, yeah. I was like, I feel super ambitious during the day, and I want to, I want to do so much. But then when the day is over, then I'm mommy and then I'm doing mom stuff. And so to dial this back a smidge, and I used to have a huge house. I sold it recently. So now I'm living with my sister while my newer house is getting built. I don't have a space to write. And I think, damn, this is like therapy because it's just hitting me like, why did
Hmm.
I say I quit?
Mm.
Because I don't have a space to write, a space that I feel comfortable
Right,
with,
right, right, right.
right? Because I have space,
Important.
but I just don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, that's very important. It's
And
very.
so I was like, that's it. I'm not, I'm good. I'm just going to continue to host Woolly Mammoth with Spit That, and I'm going to do that once a month, and I'll do old pieces there. Um, but that's not what happened.
Mm.
Uh, I joined, so I started thinking like this in September. October, I joined the good Dr. Rebecca DuPas
Yes.
Harvard Society group.
Hmm.
So that encouraged me to write some more, right? So I did that. And then that's when in November I was like, I had nothing else to write about. I have nothing else to say poetically. I'm done. But but then other things kept coming up, like, oh, Miko, could you do this mayor's holiday thing with Spit That? I'm like, oh, okay. Can you do this? Can you do this? Now February, can you do the African American History Museum again? I'm like, oh my God, okay, I can do that. Can you do this Melanin Hughes thing with your group of poetic friends? Like, okay, I can do that. So it's like, even though I quit in my head, the world hasn't quit on me.
Mm-mm.
So I rescinded my letter of
Mm-mm.
resignation
Oh, I
completely.
got you. That nobody even they didn't even
Oh,
accept it
right.
in the first place. But we hear, oh, really? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So I'm comfortable saying that I am a working poet again,
yeah.
and not just a host and podcast. And I use just blend those two
Right, right,
poets,
right, 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 right.
because
Understood.
they're all amazing within their right for everyone who does it. Um,
Understood.
but yeah, I don't want to put out that my book will be coming soon because I've done that for the last 3 years. This book that I have been writing, so
Yeah.
I imagine it'll come out whenever I'm done writing it.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. Like, you'll get to a certain point where, like, a date actually makes sense. Honestly, like, sometimes it makes sense for us to push each other, and then sometimes it's like, no, like, we're still in the cooking phase. It just is what it is. Like, it just is what it is there.
What do you feel about? Your mouth was
Right.
forming the question. What do you feel about speaking of pushing poets?
Hmm.
As a host as well, when a dynamic poet that you see, they come in and they're like, I don't want to get on the mic. I just came to because I'm asking that question because that's kind of where I've been. Like I didn't. I just came to absorb.
Yeah.
Just I don't feel physically capable mentally to perform
Right.
because I'm in that space, you know. But they're like, nope, your name's on the list. Like I kind of do that. I do
Yeah.
that myself, and I think
Right.
now that I'm in that space, like, dang, I'm
Right.
sorry for
Right.
kind of
There goes the ass over there.
sorry, guys.
Here's my answer. It's a great question. Here's my answer for it. You can't trust everybody's first word, right? So I'm gonna test you.
Okay.
But eventually, everybody's different. Eventually somebody is really speaking like they thought about it and they're really giving you this is how I feel in the moment, this is how I feel, period. And usually it's the look, it's the eyes. So if I'm pushing a little bit, but I can see it's really not, all right, you not playing, you serious today. If I say, are you sure?
Right.
I'm writing the name down. That's what the
Right.
is the ink moving, even though I usually type it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's right. That's,
Does ink sound like that?
I
It'll
don't
be like,
know. In my head, there's a lot going on in here. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Is I don't like that. It's
I
that's
agree.
so that's how I would like if somebody is just kind of like theoretically they don't want to go, then all you have to do is ask and they will fold. If somebody is really like I'm not in this space right now, I'm actually getting away. Like something just happened an hour ago. I'm just happy to be here. Like you can
Right.
usually tell the difference. So
Yeah.
I wrote your name regardless is a little bit extra. But even that. And I'm not the peer pressure type. Write my name and I wasn't ready. I'm gonna be
Oh yeah.
keep
Yeah.
going up. I don't, cause I'm not. I'm like you're, and we'll just be mad at me. But that's me. Like other people will, the peer pressure be real,
You're a
and
rebel.
the
You're a
not knowing how
rebel.
to say no. But you can't. So don't do that to them people. You know what I'm saying? Because now they went up because they felt like they had to, and you low key just like it's gonna be a
Never
while
got
before you see me again.
right.
Yeah, because this is not a safe space.
All right. This
It's
is
not,
not a safe space
yeah,
now.
I just got put
You're a
stuff. Now, with all
liar.
that being said, February 10th, you got to share something. I don't know if you plan to or not, but you will. So thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still got 9 days.
February 10th.
Yeah, what's going on?
Oh,
Oh my God.
no, I'm joking. But I feel like I was believable. Like, oh, no.
Right, you weren't.
Okay. So,
Only thing I need to believe is do I actually get my fucking flyer on Monday? That's
fire.
what
Hey, listen,
I know it's not on you. I'm just saying. Right.
I'm not the person, but you
I
will
know
get
you're
your
not. I
flyer
know
on
you're not.
Monday.
I know you're not.
So a lunatic
Oh
is
wow, we doing this.
I jumped right into the host mode. A lunatic will be gracing the presence of Spit Dad at Woolly Mammoth. He is our first feature. I don't know if he's going on first, but he is the first feature. It, like
What?
you were you were the first feature, and we have two features mostly all the time as Spit That.
Yeah,
Um, Last month we didn't have two features
yeah.
because the one feature was just no shade to you, but
No,
no,
no facts. No.
it's magnanimous. But
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Who was that first feature, by the way?
it was Rebecca Dupas.
Yeah,
So
no, I ain't
still
nobody. Right.
who could we feature with her, right? Like
Right, right.
so but this month it's you and it's one more person. I'm gonna say JD.
JD the pros, yeah. Which that was so fire, like, cause like if y'all had called me about Rebecca, I'd have been like, oh my God, I'd have got scared, passed out. But JD is the homie. Yeah, don't die. JD is the homie. Like I'm really looking forward to sharing like a evening. You know what I'm saying, to hear what he's gonna do. Cause that's what I've been asking. I'm like, bro, I haven't seen you in a minute. Like, what is the
Right.
next thing? Oh, we're gonna do a
He
set.
tell you
The
he told
sets
you he's
back to
doing
back.
it?
Yeah. At this point, I keep seeing like Drew put it on his bio. I keep
Oh,
seeing it, like I'm getting messages. So no, I'm pretty sure he's like JD is. So, oh, I even sent him. I even posted something and tagged him, and he was hit the like and all that. So I'm pretty sure it's
I didn't
happening.
see that post. I need to start posting for Spit That
I mean, what
today.
was that? No, so like yeah, Drew made a it like again because I guess the flyer wasn't ready. So last week he just said like here are my next things, and it was like in the bio. It was like
Oh,
next
got you,
I'm doing
got you.
Spit That featuring, and I'm doing Bus.
Okay.
It was pretty smart. It was like okay, this is a good way to
Whoa.
promote something.
Let me update my bio.
Yeah, I mean, right,
That. Yeah.
right. It's not a
Yeah.
bad idea at all. So yeah, no, I'm pretty sure, and I'm looking forward to that one. That's gonna be
I'm
good.
so excited because the theme, guys, is Love Month,
Hmm.
but we're not boxing in what love means,
Right.
right? We're not boxing in the loss of love or the gain of love. We're saying it's love.
Right.
So
Do with what you
I'm,
will.
yeah, I'm excited to see the perspectives that people will come with, especially our features. Like, I'm really excited to see how you are going to unpack this,
Yep.
because obviously your whole set doesn't have to be about that. That's just the theme of the show. Like, you
Right.
could do absolutely nothing related to love, and it's okay. So we're not confining you to a theme of the show,
Right,
but
right. But no, I did, when it was brought up, when we had those conversations as early as I think November and December,
yeah,
like I knew a direction I wanted to go in. And the beauty is like I'm so, I'm definitely unorthodox and then I'm pretty like and I try to be as private as possible. I'm gonna talk about this. I didn't used to I wouldn't practice if I knew it was a set. I'm like, I'm not going to share this piece at like an
right,
open mic
right,
or whatever
right.
because now I'm diminishing, so to speak. But it's like, that's not how that works. Like
No,
practicing is making it stronger. So, but like, yeah, I know what I'm planning to do and like to share one of the pieces, like I plan to do it, um, Phil is featuring in Baltimore. I'm gonna go check her out tonight, right? So
that's tonight, right? Yeah,
yeah, so I'm gonna practice that. So it's like, but that doesn't mean you now know my set. You know what I'm
right.
saying? And that's DC and that's Baltimore, DC. Like everybody there is it. You know what I mean? So it's like just getting out of
That's
my
not so
head.
far. Yeah,
Yeah, it is far. Yeah, so getting out of my head on that, but like I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm sure I'll speak on it, when we do the spit that related live, I'll, start dropping a little bit more nuggets, but it's gonna be fun. And then I have no idea what JD's gonna do.
yeah,
So, I'm looking forward to being the fan as well. And then just like yeah, as you said, all the open micers,
yeah, yeah. I don't know
they're
what they're
gonna
gonna do. I'm excited. I don't even
yeah.
know what I'm gonna do. So
Right. But something, just making sure you know that.
no, I
Yeah.
know, because I'm so quick. Like, even back when I was like on heavy rotation with features, and I pulled myself back. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
something about that. My best friend always says, it's weird. You're weird with this. You love the spotlight, but once you get it, you want to end it on your terms. Like, okay, thank you, that was fine. How many
Right.
more? It's like, you just started. You have 50
Right.
more minutes. It's like,
What's wrong with you?
like, okay, I don't
Right.
know. Yeah, it was, like I said, the Smithsonian reached back out to me because I did
Right.
it last year, and this time they emailed and they said, "Hey, 20 minutes."
Mm.
My heart was like,
20. What
20
was the first?
minutes.
The first year was what?
They got me. The first year they were like 5 to 10.
And then it was
But when
15.
I got up there, it was like 20 to 30.
Oh shit. Oh, okay.
It was so long. But
Right.
how am I complaining about being one of the first poets to grace the whatever the space was called,
Right.
the African American History
Yeah,
Museum?
that's fire.
So I just did it. I rocked out. But now something, it's like, do I have anxiety too? Like,
Yeah.
let me go see my kid's therapist. Like, it's too much. But of course I say yes, because
Right.
Smithsonian, like, how
Right.
can you not? Yeah, that's going to be February the 20th or
Okay. Talking shit.
7th. I'm not sure which one because they haven't confirmed their dates yet. Um, but I had a question for
Thursday.
you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
going
a
to,
Thursday. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And
What's
it's,
up?
their times are weird. It's like 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. I'm like, I got to take off work.
Yeah, right.
But
And
they
that's how
pay
it works last
well,
time.
so
Right.
I had to take off work. I'm like, okay, Smithsonian, I got
Right.
you. I'll be there, booze. But yeah,
Right.
but I was gonna ask you a question. Are you on Twitter?
I am, but I'm moving from there. Did you find me? Is that what you asking?
No, because I thought you got banned. Like, did you get
Oh.
banned some years ago, like 5 or 5?
Twitter, I don't know. Facebook, I stayed. That's why I got off Facebook. It was funny, like in the, on like, in the public, because I
Yeah,
had a lot of family, I would be, whatever. But Facebook groups, I was a menace. Oh my God, I was a terrible person. It
I
was
can
fun.
believe that.
Yeah, yeah, it was fun. Twitter, I ain't shit either because when I was in Twitter, like I was around, I was outside when it was the high point of the low point, like that 2010-ish to
Oh
2013,
yeah,
14. I mean, it was scandalous. Like the flyouts, the dramas, the posts with deets. Like I was around for all of that, and I never was. Like I never had more than like 500 followers. However, the people that found their way to me was like there's something up with this over here. You know what I mean? I always had my niche of people or whatever. But yeah, these I can't take. I was always struggling with like the promoting of Twitter because I'm like
Yeah.
Twitter's a cesspool. And then as I was starting to, like, okay, let me figure it out, Elon buys it. And now it truly is some
Yeah.
like I don't take nothing
Yeah.
seriously there.
Yeah, it's like why are we doing? And it's so many now. It's like Blue Sky, then
Yeah,
it's no, then it's
yeah.
like Lemonade. I mean,
I didn't
it's
know about that one. But that's what yeah, no, it's like the drug game for real. Like you had somebody was on top, now you have this big vacancy. Why would people would be stupid not to try to get a little bit of that piece and try
yeah,
to be next and all that. So yeah, that's
yeah,
where we at these days.
yeah.
That's what we had these days. Why you ask? It's like you
I'm
about
gonna
to
tell
pull
you
up
why.
something. So I was just trying to
I
see if
was.
you remember. Right, right. Like, oh
Um,
shit, this is. I will turn your camera
I,
off so quick.
no, I was listening to so whenever I go on a podcast, even if I know you, I listen to some of your previous and I go way back.
Oh shit.
Like it was like in
Ugh.
our time or something. It was like five black.
Oh, it's our
It's
oh
our
shit!
time.
Shout out to the bros. So that's I'm real quick. That's yeah. These are two or three of my college buddies, like 2001, and then bro when he got married, one of the best. I think it was his best man, but one of the the wedding party is his cousin that like they're like brothers, and pretty much ever since 2008, him and he's like in the squad too. So like these are all the bros. Interestingly enough, apparently they kind of feeling like they might want to revisit because
Really?
they were too like I'm gonna ask a whole bunch of questions and it's
Mm,
like I don't have the answers yet. So for me, I just dove in, made these weird
yeah.
ass, made for better or worse content. And then for them, I think they kind of missed the concept and the idea. So that just came up like a week or two ago. So yeah, shout out to them. That's crazy.
I liked that podcast. I was
Yeah.
like, I mean, I fell upon it because, I'm a rabbit hole. I'm a go.
Mm.
I'm gonna just keep going. So I was just like, what is this? Okay, Alona, Tig, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And it was so interesting. I love the way they introduced themselves. And I was like, and honestly, this is what's needed, especially from established Black men, you
Hmm.
know? And I
Hmm.
just wanted to say, if you guys do that, I think it would be phenomenal and it is a space for it because what do we have? We have bros telling us about
Yeah.
relationships, like,
Yeah.
give us more perspectives from like Black men who are upstating members of
Okay. So your cash that was
society.
amazing. So,
You supposed to do it after. You supposed to do it
oh
after.
shit! All right. See, I'm still learning. I'm still learning. I'm still.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
got the milk still. Okay.
Nah, I appreciate that, and I'm gonna make sure that like even if I don't clip that for, I'm gonna make sure them boys see that. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
I would say this one of the beauties of that. If we were like, I would play background so fast. Like we each like that's one thing I like about us. Like we.
yeah. I held your own.
That fit right. That fit. This. There was this kind of meme a couple years ago, like friend groups, and there was the friend group leader, and we
I
was
know.
like, who would be that? Like we all can play that role depending on how
Yeah,
we feel that day. Somebody
yeah,
can just take over at any point, and the other niggas is like, man, I'm going to sleep. Most of them is
yeah,
married. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? We all busy. Like, I don't have time to be running, running y'all. Like,
yeah,
and you know what I mean? So that's what it would be like. I would fall to like just we all equal. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah. And
So
that's good to have someone because they can jump in. That's kind of like my best friend and I. Like we are equal with our personality.
yeah,
We're over the top. And it's not even an act. It's like she always says, "You best friend, you do too much," and I'm like, "You do
you
as
do too,
much."
right?
Like we should have been called "Do Too Much"
Right.
podcast. This is and it's literally who we are
Yeah.
because it's no pretense. It's just
Yeah.
you like it or you don't.
Right. That's
Fuck
what
it.
it is. That's what it.
Subscribe or what? What you gonna
Right,
do? You
right,
know? So
right. No, and even I'm glad we got an opportunity to come back to that. Like the podcast will help me. Like with, I'm not worried about 3 views and all that. Like this is part of branding. This is like every for us to sit here and just tell the stories, remember some shit. You know what I mean? Like reflect. Like this is all practice basically for the
yeah,
next time you have a feature and you like, yo, I was just thinking about this the other day. That type of stuff, and it lets somebody get to know you. And stories like this, it's like again, it don't be a lot of people, but for somebody to take time to go find mine, I didn't pay no ad and no Google, advertisements. I'm not in the front page of no Spotify, and somebody found it and listened to it
yeah,
means a whole lot. And even if like a dollar doesn't come from the podcast, well, I'm gonna be, I'm making them dollars as a poet.
yeah,
One day this is gonna turn into speaking engagement, whatever. Like it's the means to an overall ecosystem. That's what kind of helps me. And then one day I'm gonna get it, and people are gonna go back and start watching it, and it's gonna be
yeah,
awkward because oh my god, my 2018. Like I
yeah,
appreciate that man for staying diligent, but as far as like
yeah.
why
I
didn't you know how to
changed
do
up a
this
lot
yet?
of stuff with my
Yeah,
past
that's
stuff. Oof.
yeah. Oh, shout out to that dancing video.
Oh, wow. I posted that myself because I was
Right.
like,
You gotta get ahead of
oh,
that shit. Like you gotta
I'm like,
like you can't
oh,
clown me, I clown my now I gotta see now I have to post it. See, I was just gonna leave it and shut up. Now I have to. I gotta
why was I dancing like that? Why?
that's how y'all do. Perks. That's what it was.
Why was I doing that? Like
Right. What
that was
was the drug of choice back then? It wasn't
right. And
Adderall.
first of all, I didn't even drink back then. That's the crazy.
Wow. It was all energy.
It was just crazy Miko back
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the 90s, or was it
yeah.
early? No, it was early 2000. Like,
Okay.
oh, God, that's worse. Like that should have been the 90s, but no, it was early 2000s, and
Right.
it
Ooh.
was. I was a
Ooh.
BT dancer, not that kind of dancer, but I
Right.
was BT
Right.
on Planet Groove. Shout out to Planet Groove and my groovers, my groovers from back in the day. But yeah, you gotta. It's cool if you play that clip. It's
Right.
actually kind of funny. The sun was coming out over you when you were talking, and I
Right.
put my finger up because I was like,
you, but you ain't want to mess up the
I was like,
look at growth. Let's go. Now you
wait,
brought it up after the
period.
fact.
I had
Right.
to. I was like, I
You
wanted to say
you
this is
didn't have
well,
to.
I would say ethereal nigga.
I-
Like this, this is it's like you were on a green screen, but you were actually really here.
right.
Watch when you go back and watch it, you're gonna be like, damn.
I'm gonna no, I can tell that's why I keep because I'm not looking at me, I'm looking at you, but when you bring it up, I'm like, shit.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is good.
Right.
I
That's,
don't want to I don't want to belabor myself on the podcast if that
mm.
goes together. But
Oh, you got shit to do. I got you. That was so nice. She was like, I'm trying to do it. She's like, nigga, what are you still got me here? Like, the fuck?
no, I was going to ask another question.
Go for it.
Ask another question. This question I had was something I've often thought about.
All right.
I know that imposter syndrome affects Black women the most, right? And I'm not just saying shit because sometimes I just be saying shit and be like, but like I've done a lot of research surrounding imposter
Right.
syndrome, epigenetics, and oh, quick pivot to the pivot. Did you know that a lot of a lot of um, generational trauma is transferred through sperm?
Red?
That
No,
is
I
the
didn't.
latest finding in the epigenetics field because I've subscribed to these scholarly journals, and
Right.
I was just that was interesting to me because I was just like, we a lot of us a lot of times we're really focused on like the DNA aspect of it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's actually physically passed down through sperm, a
Wow.
portion of it. So
Wow.
it really sheds a greater light on um, when kids are produced from the egg and the sperm meeting, whatever this Y chromosome has
Yeah.
is
It's coming
filtered
in.
through.
It's
Yeah, and
fascinating.
it's
Fascinating.
interesting.
Yeah.
And yeah, I that was a pivot to that. But the question was, do you think that, or has it been your experience, that imposter syndrome affects men? And if so, in what way? Like, I just don't see men talking about it.
I'm so excited that I get up, Cash. Yeah. And you know who's not about to appreciate this is Chaos itself, my nigga, my
Oh,
dog, Chaos itself. And I'm gonna send this
oh.
to a glowing poet, and she gonna be happy. Like, get this nigga.
Okay,
Yes, yes, black
Glenn.
men
Okay.
absolutely have struggled with imposter syndrome. I'm gonna put it like this: like, I understand why black women do because like society is always trying to shut y'all up. Like that's
Yeah,
all the time. So it's like black men have a little bit like we have the male privilege,
yeah.
and then just expectation to be bold and don't be no punk and all that type of stuff. But it's like no, it's some stifling, it's some thinking, it's some hesitation and all that too, and it's an active fight. And I absolutely am no like people, regardless of how much confidence I exude, like
Mhm.
I personally can attest to it. Even if I'm at my hold up, even if I'm at even if I'm at my at like kind of my best
Uh,
progressive with that is still a thing, and it used to be a thing like 3 years ago. It wasn't like I was a kid like that. Nah, I've been an adult, dealing with that. But chaos, too, like it was a situation that just happened, some stage, and he went crazy. And then I seen him post somebody else, and he was like, "Man, it would be nice, if I were to get viral like that or get attention." I'm like, "Nigga, you."
you are chaos. You are talking about
Too
like
bad
chaos. Do
if
you not see
you don't
that?
see, and he doesn't. It's like to the man credit, he really doesn't. Like it's, and to be fair to him, we all do this. So we can't get too crazy on him because we can say that about you.
Well,
So
I mean,
calm
I
your
be
face
seeing
down a
it.
little bit.
I be seeing it. So, I,
Not too much.
I mean, I don't know, but see, I'm okay. Well, I'm not talking about me. Chaos is out there. Like
Yes.
he's traveling to different
Yes.
places, and his name rings a bell. We know it's chaos with a T.
But he
We're
right.
not
But
we're not
he
questioning him.
doesn't know it.
Nah,
He
I don't
doesn't
believe
know
it.
it. It's why, and no, he's not, and yeah, he's not one of like you would tell if he's one of those, that'd be
Oh
like
yeah,
you.
he's not that
Then
guy.
he would be different. But like, no, that man legitimately does not know his greatness, and that's why I just named, mentioned a glowing poet because there was we had to
Yeah,
chat, and it's like obviously, it's like kind of sports the locker room, that's gonna
yeah,
stay
yeah,
there.
yeah,
But
yeah,
we
yeah.
had that conversation, and like he is legitimately not recognized. We just went to Jersey. We went to
Right,
Jersey.
right.
That man went crazy, and
Yeah.
it's still like yeah, but that second word and
He's the bar. Chaos is the bar
chaos.
for
This is
poets.
Miko.
You gotta like. I mean, well, no, but
Don't
like,
do that. Nah, we just talking about
I
it. You
just
can't do
did it.
that.
I just did.
You
But
can't do
no,
that
like,
right now.
yeah, I'm
All
joking.
right.
I'm joking. But like, chaos really is the bar for many poets that I know. It's like if you're on a stage with chaos,
Good luck.
you good. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
right,
Like,
right. If you are allowed to, but you better wake up too.
better wake up.
Yeah,
And
bring
I've
that A
featured
game.
chaos
Mm-hmm.
several times and intend to continue to feature him. And I watch and I see him grow.
Yes.
Same thing with Glow. Like, first of all, listen, I don't even know. It feels weird to have these conversations about these people that are so you can't my hand is off the screen on purpose because
Word.
there's no ceiling. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
It's just consistently going up.
Yeah,
And so
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I've been curious on that. I think part of it is like the DMV and Baltimore, like it's just so much talent out here that like it's normal, and it's like, well, I mean, I'm cool and all that, but so is this, and that.
right.
And it's like, and the reality is we're all amazing. Like it's really that simple. You can't uplift this person and then also downplay you as if you're not. Like we're all very similar or on it. So if she's great and she's great and he's great and he's great, well shit, I'm great too. Like what do
Right,
we,
right.
I
But
mean?
I
So
get it. I
yeah,
get it. I because sometimes you feel like for me, I feel like I'm out of touch. I felt like I was out of touch.
yeah,
Obviously, when I first came back, I remember talking to some of my old school poet friends, you know what I mean? Like my mans. it would be like, Patrick, I would ask you, what do you think about this? Is my tone this way? Is my tone that way? Because I'm in my head, I'm still used to like throwback U Street Bar None days and how we go hard with it. Um, but now it's a softer kind of go hard. It's weird. Like I couldn't
Mm,
explain it. Then I
mm,
would ask people like people I trusted,
right.
that are not a part of the new scene, because I didn't know the new scene. But it really all boiled down to who you are.
And that's what, yeah.
That's what it is.
Is it going
If,
to work?
if I'm a go hard clap, I'm gonna do my thing. This is who I am, and this is what you're gonna get.
Right.
That's just what it is.
Right. And then you
And the
quickly,
minute you change,
yeah,
yeah, I'm sorry. Go
you
ahead.
quickly found that not only did you find quote unquote your tribe, but you're very well received, period. Like, and that's why, I mean, shit, I want to get the National, African American History Museum. Like, you're doing some stuff, and
Ah, yeah,
yeah, don't do that. That's what, like chaos is going against, a internal perception, but the facts are the fact. Like the reality, bro, you're getting booked here, called for here, invited here. You know what I'm saying? The same thing for you. It's like that's cool, and that's deeper than that's even deeper than poetry. Like we all have our traumas, and that's partially why we have our parents and
right.
family
Yep.
who have been doing a lot of stifling. You must do this, you must do that. So it's a very layered and deep reason why it's like that. But we have a responsibility to beat that out of out of each of us because we're in
Right.
our way. Like this is our window. Like we have a gift, a responsibility, like a purpose. And and people need to hear it, not even just for us, like the receptive audience, they need what we had to offer. You know what I mean? So no, great question, but 100%. Sorry
Yeah.
to sorry to put you out there, Chaos, but you shouldn't have been like the very first example. It should have been somebody else. Sorry.
Right, well, it's good to know. But honestly, I actually remember having a similar conversation with Chaos, not as detailed.
Yeah.
I think we were at release and we were joking around about my open mic pimp piece, and he was, talking about, and we were joking, and I think we stopped. Oh, you were there too. Oh my God.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, because it was you were featuring
I
that
was.
thing, right?
No, I
Or was
wasn't.
it?
I just did that
Oh.
piece that
Oh.
night.
Okay.
Yep. And
Man, you a spotlight stealer. That's crazy.
huh?
Huh?
What?
I said you a spotlight stealer. That's where like you did
I'm
that. That's
like, huh?
wild.
What?
Nobody scared of you.
What? Why did I look like that? But yeah, that's what I do. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, and then so we were talking, and he was just like, I remember his because I do that, like, nah, just a little, just, and I'm like, and that has always stuck with me because I'm like, surely he's joking, you know. Um, but it's good to know because it for me it helps me feed my son when
Mm,
he's going through
mm.
because in my head I'm like,
Right. Nobody else does that. Why you had it? Yeah. No.
yeah,
Whole
but it's
time.
like, oh, okay.
All right.
It's really just knowing that you have the skill set, doing something phenomenal, but not believing that it was phenomenal because of your skill set. Like how,
Right. Right. Yeah. 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 It's like whatever we have. I'm sure we all have one thing that we're like, oh, I was amazing that one time, and
yeah,
everything's getting compared to that, which is dangerous.
yeah,
Which is
yeah,
also dangerous, but and it's because it's inaccurate. It's like that was here and everything else was some bullshit. It's like
yeah,
we're so worried about like trying to keep ourselves to a standard that it's like it's very rare that we really truly tried to put out something that was substandard, but we're
right,
so scared about it that we feel like the
right,
next eight we're like, whole time
right,
standing ovation.
right, right.
You
I
know,
remember one time the one time you and I went to, I was scared of the neighborhood, but I'm a G.
it's
But
everywhere.
shut up.
Baltimore. I remember,
It was
yeah,
Baltimore,
the
right?
post for dinner, right? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Just very racist, so that we know where she would. No, I'm just kidding, but you do that when you was racist. I ain't gonna hold
I
you.
wasn't racist. I'm black. I can't be racist.
We're not gonna do that.
Okay. Well, we're not. Well,
I'm not
anyway,
gonna do that. A lot of people agree with you, and all y'all are wrong. Anyway,
all of us are right and you're wrong. Um, but I,
my podcast.
all
I'm right
right.
here.
Okay. I'm right here and I'm right here. Well, I'm writing here.
Oh my
Okay. No,
god!
no. But
Now
no.
shut up.
Okay. But we went to the poetry dinner. Okay. And that
That
we
was
went
your age right there.
like
Poets for dinner.
poets for dinner.
Yeah,
Right. Dope. Like
yeah.
phenomenal. And I'm not talking about like, oh, I got scared because of the neighborhood. Like, that's just because I didn't know the hood. It's not because I'm not of the hood, okay? So I didn't know it. And so I'm so serious. But when I got on stage, I had just written this piece, I'm Scared of Dying. I just written it. So that was 22. And I remember I sent it to you in a DM first. And I was like, what do you think about this? Like, did I say the word crocodile too fast? And I remember it because you were like, nigga, what?
Right.
What are you talking about? No one's paying attention to the word crocodile. Like, and he's like, no, the piece is fire. You need to, and I was like, oh. And I remember that was the first night I did that piece. And one of the poets there came to me and was like, that piece was so phenomenal. And the host of the night got on stage and was like, and I remember what she said, this is a real writer.
Yeah.
Not discounting anybody, but you wrote this piece. Like this was, and I was like, wow, thank you. Here I am thinking it was just
like
you know,
about to waste people's time. Yeah.
And so that's, to me, that's, to bring it back, to me, that is constantly doubting myself, not thinking like, yeah, I did go to school for writing. I did all of these things, but am I good enough? And it's the constant search for being good enough.
Right. It's we get caught up in sayings and we apply them wrong. So you're only good as your last poem.
Yes.
And it's like, let it motivate you, but don't let it cripple you. Right? Like, so don't show up bullshitting, but like we damn near never do at this.
Right.
Except for you.
Right.
You be waiting the day of with your I ain't gonna hold you.
I do, but you give me good feedback and I'll be like, you're right. This is bullshit. Let me do it better.
No. It ain't even that. It's you waiting until your practice. Yeah, your rehearsal. It's like the day of for the National History of America. I don't know what that shit stands for.
Yeah,
remember. And it's like, nigga, it's in 6 hours. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get to
like, what's your set? So what's your set? I was like, all right, that's my set.
I mean, I got this one piece for sure. I got it. For the, what the hell? I don't, yeah.
But being around people like you and Chaos and listening to Glow and all, hearing Dupas and K-Love and, amazing artists, hearing these dope artists has led me to believe that you cannot stand on talent alone, right? You gotta practice your shit. Like you gotta, because otherwise you'll fumble with the feet. Look. The quick story. Right.
And that's right. And that was it. Like, what? Yeah, I had to learn the same thing. Like, oh yeah, you better get this prep shit right. So yeah, don't make me no example.
It was me though. It was me. I went to Brown Girl Interrupting live podcast because that was the first podcast I was on 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so, I went there and she's like, anybody who's on the podcast? I'm like, sure, yeah. So we go up and talk. We have an amazing conversation. The producer is like, do a piece. And I was still on my hiatus. Like, I haven't practiced in any. So I'm good. He's like, do a piece. I'm like, people in the audience. I'm like,
oh no.
And that is why that piece is not posted, because I knew the first half. But then I went, ethereal, nigga. I was like, that's all I got. Like, and and so I realized, like, Miko, when you come to events, they know you're a poet.
Right.
Expect to have a poem in your pocket that you can,
Let's talk about this. I know I struggle with this one. But I don't want to do that poem. Whole time it's like, nigga, this is your bread. Like, is it? And I know that's the problem when you overdo it. There's such thing as
sick of it.
But our version of I'm sick of it is I did it 3 months ago. It's not like I did. Not like I did it.
Popular. Everybody heard this before.
Right. That too. That too. It's like, no, it's a fire poem. So so when you try to figure out like what is a piece that somebody that's getting to know me should do, it should be
Yeah,
that one. But that's
yeah,
not how we think. And that's one I'm super struggle with. Like,
yeah.
nigga, like especially me, I'm too late. Nobody knows every of none of my poems. No,
Right.
like what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
We
that
think they do because we do it so much.
right to us.
Yeah.
But it's not like that person, like even fellow poets, you have not been to every time
Right.
I ran this, you know what I mean? So like that's part of it. I'd be fair to you. Like this like I mean, what am I gonna do? Not that one. I do that all the time.
Right. I'm like, I'm sick of it. And it's funny because Poetic Soul, she's famous for this. They call me Miko. And I'd be like, no, I don't want them to call me. No. Then she's like, you gotta do. And I'm like, okay, they call
Yeah,
me, that's Miko. And I'm like, see, it's catchy stuff that they want to hear because
right,
that's what they remember.
right,
And yeah, it's a fire piece, but it's like, I want to do something different.
right.
But I end up doing it because we do it for the people or we do it for ourselves when it's a
Right.
request. I don't
Right,
know.
right, right. Well, that's why. So the solution is go get a feature, and then so now you're not picking the one. It's like, okay, I do this for y'all, I do this for me. I do this.
Yeah,
Just go be fire, get booked, and now you have.
I don't want
You know
to.
what I'm saying? Right. Then you don't want to do the feature. It's like I just wanted attention. I just didn't want. Yeah, I get.
Yeah, I just want to be like, oh, her outfit is cute. I like the boots. Oh, okay, your hair red
Right.
now. Like, I don't know.
Coming up now. Who? Why did I just hear my name? Yeah, yeah.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I'm not here
I
for it.
get it. I get it. Listen, like, so basically what it's gonna have to be is like, cause there's so many topics available and shit like that. So there probably would be a part two, cause we can definitely go for like,
Yeah, it's so much. It's so
yeah,
much.
it
It's so
really is. But
much.
I appreciate that we just organically got in for people to like really get in the mind of artists that I know, like, we can both safely say we're up there like that. And it's like, no, please don't think that we just walk around knowing we shit excellence all the time. Like
Right.
there's a lot behind the scenes. We got our, our tough love critics, you know what I'm saying? That we gotta, you know what I'm saying? That like y'all are like every single thing you ever done is crazy. They like,
Yeah.
what I mean? We got our
Yeah.
own, standard and all that type of stuff. So, definitely, I'm glad that some of that got shared. And not only do like a random audience need to hear that, but fellow poets
Yeah.
need to hear
Yeah.
that. And not only is it the up and coming poet, but it's the poet on our level or that even is above us that like needs that reminder. I'm gonna shout out. That's probably my last. I'm gonna shout out Brenda the poet. She's,
Oh, I love her. I love her. I told Art and I were talking, and I was like, this is when I thought I was going to come back to D City.
yeah,
Then I decided against it. But I said, Brenda the Poet is going to be our first
your
feature.
first one.
And it's like, what?
Clipping
And it was
this
like,
too.
listen,
I'm
I love
clipping this
her.
too. She's
Yeah.
so, and I'd rather somebody be overly modest than be an asshole. Cool,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
don't have to pick either. be
Yeah. Yeah.
be confident and also gracious and all that. Like you don't have to. You know what I mean? She got posted on Pure. It's
I
over. Like I
saw.
don't want to
Yeah.
hear none of that shit. Like she would keep like the last couple months would be the celebrity corner over there. And it's like so like
Uh-huh.
trap. We're gonna be there for trap, and we're gonna probably try to make sure that we all get seat and have her there too. But it's like nigga,
Okay.
like you've been posted at Pure as many times as I have. Like, could I
Yeah.
get your autograph, please?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that all right? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
over. It's
And
over.
lean into it. I
Yes.
advise her, like lean into it.
Yeah.
Um, I think it was, I think it was her and Janari that came
Hmm.
because Janari was featuring at Spit That, and Brenda the Poet got on stage, and I had never heard her before.
Yeah. It's like
It was just like,
the fuck, right?
who is it? Just petite,
Right.
sweet, but bringing fire.
Yes.
Oh, I could have said bringing heat, but that was just such a
Yeah.
corny wrong.
Yeah.
But no, don't say. But okay, I want to
Right.
say
I'm gonna edit that one out. Don't worry.
it.
They're just gonna cut.
Yeah. Don't
No, you
do
got it.
that. But no, I think that she's phenomenal, and I am eager to see what her next movie is. I know
That
she's
is
featured at release. I believe she's featured at release.
not immediate, like probably soon, but now
Oh,
because this one at Valentine's Day.
Chaos and
Yeah, is she like the spotlight or
or
it's a
something.
different?
I don't know. I'm
Oh,
revealing
she's
right.
featuring on Tuesday.
Okay.
It's a newer open mic, and I'm pretty no, she's spotlighting, but yes, so that maybe there's that. You know, hopefully, yeah, she did get an artist for Traps. I'm sure she got some cooked up there and all that. But yeah, no, she's about to like. So even with Chaos, it's like, what happens when y'all start believing y'all as amazing as y'all are? Like you've been doing this with doubt, like just right here. Like,
Mm.
you know, you about to fuck up this next one, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so this man is scary as this and comes out and does a poem behind a mask. Like you're scared and you're willing to take these risks like that. You're
Wow.
scared and you got up with a doll and did an amazing
Oh
duo.
yeah, I saw that. I saw
Woo!
somebody. I told somebody to record it for me.
So
Yeah,
what happens when you wake up? It'll be like, I am him, I am her, and let's go make this art. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
I am him. I am her. My
don't
kids,
you
told me I can't say that anymore. I was like, oh, because I'm her. It's like,
you can't do
no,
that with either.
I
Dang.
just I can't do it with them. I'm like,
But
okay,
just don't be around them. Yeah, that's what that is. Like you can do
yeah,
all
I don't
things.
want to be around. No, stop.
Nice. Wow. That's a great note there. Yeah, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you is what you can do. Look. All right, listen. So you've done we did a little bit of promo, but just one more time, like where can they find you?
Yes, I am on Miss Miko Reed on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, but like, am I really? Just everything from Instagram goes to Facebook, but it's also Miko Reed on Facebook. But it's Miss Miko Reed, and then Boots to Heels underscore podcast on Instagram and on YouTube, Boots to Heel underscore podcast, and on TikTok, which is still here
Right.
miraculously. Boots to Heels underscore podcast, right? And Miss Miko Reed. Um, and what I have coming up is
Mhm.
Melanin Hughes, guys.
Talk about
Like,
it.
I'm super excited. But before I jump into that, I want to say I am the new co-host of Spit That at Woolly Mammoth with my boy Drew
Shout
Anderson.
out to
And
bro.
this month we're featuring JP, Alonatic, and JD the Pros. That is February 10th. It's typically every third Monday, but because the third Monday, I believe, is President's Day, I think.
Mm,
It
okay.
is going to be the second Monday of February.
Gotcha. That makes sense. That makes
Yeah, and then February 21st, it is Melanin Hughes with DJ artist Nerd the Poet, Stan Kells, and Poetic Soul. And it's a speakeasy. It's a speakeasy. It's an hour-long show. It is at Tacoma Community Center, a part of their city arts program. It's amazing. It is free vibes. So come on out and support artists. We all have some new shit that we're doing,
Hey.
and we're doing a collaborative piece. So it's good. It's new. It's and then I will be doing the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll be doing that. I've heard back from them, but there are 2 days that they're vetting. So I don't know if it's the 20th or the 27th, but follow me
Right.
on Instagram. And subscribe to Boost the Hills so we
Right.
can get like 40 views instead of
Right.
25.
Hey,
And
listen. Right.
yeah, and I'm excited. And just about being pure and just keep your artistry and be authentic and live in your best self. Like that's really that's my tagline. That's my belief, you know, that's what I feel.
There it is. There it is. There it is. We finally did. I ain't even talk about how fucking long this took. It doesn't matter.
It's, yeah. Don't talk about that.
No,
We move
you know that's
forward.
the trick. Like I'm not gonna say, and then you say the thing anyway, right? But like this was
That's been our thing, guys. That's been our
right,
thing.
right. 2019 is when I was like, you should be a guest on my podcast. You know, it ain't wasn't that long. So,
Shout out.
but we here now, and this was definitely worth the wait. And again, like as y'all can tell, there's plenty more that can and might be discussed. I don't wear combat boots nor heels, but hey, you know, if y'all do guests, yeah,
Yeah, we do. We are going to start doing guests
all right,
in after 6 months.
gotcha.
So like around June-ish
Gotcha.
time.
Just don't require. I hate prosecco. Sorry, like I don't like bubbly
You don't even get
alcohol.
champagne
I don't
because
mind it.
yeah, we drink champagne on the show.
Yeah, I'll have
Yeah.
not Casamigos, definitely not. But I have my tequila.
Oh,
We can put it in. We can put it in a glass. I don't know. I mean, I said it, but people are.
now they're going to know, and I'm gonna play this clip when I'm
Right.
introducing you. Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like, see how there's no bubbles here? Yeah, all right, so I don't what y'all gonna do?
They're gonna already nothing. We're not gonna do anything. What do you expect us to do?
You know,
Alone.
right. Hey, Miko, once again, definitely appreciate you. This was definitely fun. Well worth the time and all that. And so yeah, thank you all for tuning. You know, the sun is done, so am I. You know what I mean? This is a
Look at
good time
you.
to go. This is a good time to go. It's been another episode of the Smart Dumb Podcast. Y'all take it easy.
Bye.